Actually, I might have to do another video after this other one. I kind of set myself something like, maybe I should cover that Sunday too. We'll see. Wolf Street again. This time, Wolf Richter. San Francisco Bay, or Bay Area, sheds jobs and workers. And this is interesting because I think even Google, or was that a different video I had? Oh yeah, sorry. That's a different video. Whole different video. Should it be included in here? Well, we'll see. And that, in case you're wondering, even Google, this is Zero Hedge, even Google employees can no longer afford housing in San Francisco. Even high-paid Google employees? No kidding. Well, let's see. Not even that article, a whole different one. Let's see what we got here. San Francisco Bay Area sheds jobs and workers. But the ones who haven't been shedded at Google are struggling to just live in a house because they can't afford it. The San Francisco Bay Area has seen an astounding jobs boom since the Great Recession. The tsunami of global liquidity that washed over it after the Great Recession, central bank quantitative easing, and zero interest rate policies that sent investors chasing blindly after risk. A blistering, no-holds-barred startup bubble with the craziest valuations. One of the greatest stock market bubbles ever. Whatever caused the boom, it created one of the craziest housing bubbles ever. A restaurant scene to dream of. Traffic jams to have nightmares over. And hundreds of thousands of jobs. But it's over. In May, In May, employment in San Francisco dropped to 254,600 jobs, the lowest since June of 2016, according to the data released on Friday by the California Employment Development Department. The department peak was in December 2016 at 547,200. The labor force in the city fell 557,600. That's below March 2016. This confirms a slew of other data and anecdotal evidence. People and businesses are leaving. Not for the reason of Illinois, which is completely dead broke, and the taxpayers worried about getting completely destroyed by the incoming tax increases. In California, it's already there, and everything around them is just too high, namely and especially housing. So they're fleeing, again, like a bunch of fleas jumping off of a dog's back that is getting a flea bath. We are gone. And it's funny because I was telling you in the other video about Illinois, I was like, like California, I was mentioning California. Well, I'm back to California, and they're fleeing. The labor force in the city fell to 500. I already read that. Sorry. People and businesses are leaving. It's too expensive. They're basically voting, so to speak, with their feet. We're out. My friend Jason, I told you about Jason. He had his condo years ago. HOA, whatever condo fee, $80, $100, $125, $150, $200 a month up. Everyone's walking, and you just keep jacking the rate on us idiots who are staying here, while our condo prices have been destroyed. I'm walking too, and he did. And did a short sale. They got it. He was done. Good move, Jason. Good move. Well, yeah, maybe I'll show you this chart. Let's go ahead and pull this up, just in case you want to go along with me on this. The blue line in the chart below shows the decline in the labor force, the number of people who live in San Francisco and are deemed to be in the labor force. The red line shows employment, the number of people working in the city regardless of where they live, including the many who commute from other areas. So you can kind of see this little, tightening, if you will, or getting narrower, huh? The year-over-year increase in May of 4,900 jobs in San Francisco was the lowest year-over-year increase since the plunge during, here we go. Tell me if you heard me say this before. Since the last Great Recession, 2009. Between December 2009, the low point during the Great Recession, and December 2016, the high point since then, the city created 131,400 jobs, an increase of 31.6% in 7 years. The city created an average 18,800 jobs per year over the period, a breathtaking employment boom for a city of 850,000 people, and San Francisco accounts for only 11% of the Bay Area population of 7.68 million. This chart, which I'll again take a peek if you'd like. This chart shows the year-over-year employment gains, blue, and losses, red, since January 2009. Note the trend from the job creation peak in the fall of 2014. Again, red line here, in case you know we got a little vision problem. Here we go, a little red line, and it's steep. If you really look at this, this is a steep way down. Now you might argue, yeah, but what, it kind of happened here and then bounced and here. Are you sure? Because why? Everything else is sucking right now. Auto loans, everything, new starts in housing, all of it is sucking. Therefore, I think we're on a trend. Across the bay in Alameda County, whose population is about twice the size of San Francisco, and which includes Oakland, Berkeley, and other cities, a similar scenario is playing out. Employment fell to 804,100 in May, down 6,800 jobs from the peak in December of 2016 and below July 2016. The labor force fell to 832,000, down 13,000 from the peak in October 2016 and below February 2016. People are leaving. The county created 134,000 jobs between the end of 2009 and the employment peak in December 2016. That's an increase of 19% over 7 years, or on average 19,000 jobs per year. But in May, as in this year, the year-over-year increase was only 4,500, the lowest since January 2011 and December 2010, and before then since 2009. This chart shows the year-over-year change. It actually looks exactly the same. In unemployment, the boom, and how the trend over the past year has been deteriorating and is now heading into the lean times. Don't get me wrong, the Bay Area isn't collapsing at this point. When you walk around in certain parts of San Francisco, you see tourists in astounding numbers. It's still tough to get into popular restaurants through the though the other Saturday we were able to get a reservation for 8:30 p.m. peak dinner time by calling 2 hours ahead. Before then, we couldn't duplicate that by calling 2 days ahead, but it might have been a fluke. By 9 p.m., the place was full. Traffic is still a nightmare 7 days a week. Home prices in San Francisco, after flatlining for 2 years, suddenly spiked in May to another crazy record. Commercial real estate is hanging on by its teeth to sky-high prices, though apartment rents have dropped from their peak. But there are a surprising number of shuttered retail shops and restaurants, including some favorites. Landlords have become too greedy, and when they jack up rents, at least renewal at... Whoa, before I knock that off the freaking thing again. Easy, Jason. I just may have blew some people's ears out. Sorry about that. But there are a surprising number of shuttered retail shops and restaurants, including some favorites. Landlords have become too greedy, and when they jack up rents at lease renewal time, the equation no longer works for the business. This doesn't mean business is bad. It means commercial rents are too high. This has been duplicated in the office sector. There is still demand, but a number of companies, including Charles Schwab, are sending jobs to cheaper states. And when the workforce is hightailing it though there are still plenty of jobs, it means that housing costs are too high. This is a universal complaint in the Bay Area. Nearly half the millennials said they're likely to leave. This is how commercial and residential real estate bubbles with their uneconomical prices choke the economy. On top of the cost factors, there is the startup boom that is now grappling with a new sense of reality. A number of startups, such as NerdWallet and more mature companies such as Twitter, have laid off people. Others have stopped hiring. A slew of them shut down. Some companies are still getting funded, but the frenzy has been dialed down. In Uber, a San Francisco darling that is moving its headquarters to Oakland, is in a world of hurt. But this time there is no financial crisis, which set off the last bus. And this time the NASDAQ isn't collapsing, which triggered the bust starting in 2000. The NASDAQ is hovering near all-time highs. Excess liquidity is still sloshing through the system. financial stress is at its historic lows. And the Fed's policies, despite the upticks in its target rate, are still highly accommodative. The whole system is set on go, but in the Bay Area, it has reached the upper bounds of bubble hype and craziness and can't go anymore. And so the big employment boom of San Francisco and surrounding Bay Area counties is over, and tech skills are suddenly abundant. Read, it starts, hiring falls in San Francisco Bay Area, says LinkedIn. So yeah, of course, I link all these videos, these sites when I read them, in case you want to click those links and further delve into what the hell's happening as I read you those things, like at the bottom. And so yeah, I think I do have one more video to do, if I'm to be honest, because I'm an honest kind of guy. But I actually sent myself 2 more, but I'm not doing 5 on Sunday. So it's not happening. You won't believe this stupid new law against cash and Bitcoin. Zero hedge. Even Google employees can no longer afford housing in San Francisco. Zero hedge, of course. So I think I'm gonna do the Bitcoin one next. Let me just, I mean, since it's only maybe 11 minutes into this video. Is this a long one or a short one? It's kind of short. How about I just include this? Yeah, what the hell? Even Google employees can no longer afford housing in San Francisco. Zero hedge. You load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, because I can't go. I owe my soul to the new Google modular home. Every now and then a story appears in the national media that causes a light bulb to start flashing incessantly in my head. For me, such a story came to my attention today and relates to how Google is manufacturing housing for some of its employees due to the ridiculous cost of housing in San Francisco Bay Area. Here's a summary from The Verge. Google's employees can't find affordable housing in Silicon Valley, so the company is investing in modular homes that'll serve as short-term housing for them. How much do you want to bet it turns into long-term housing? Highly paid tech, you're living in a trailer, modular home. You're living in a trailer with your high salary because you can't afford to live in a regular freaking house. Again, even with your nicely, highly paid salary, you're living in a trailer. You are trailer park rich. Ain't nothing wrong with trailer parks, but there are some trailer parks that, you know, like I told you about in the way to Tennessee when I was driving the backcountry roads. Nice house, beautiful. Oh my God, is someone living in that? Is this actually a trailer park? Are there people who are alive in there? Oh my God. Oh, nice house, beautiful land. Oh, trailer park, horrible, terrible conditions. You know, you don't want to be in one of those. And if you happen to be in one of those, you really need to do everything in your power to get the hell out of there. Find other ways to make income. Hell, drive around, go to yard sales. You can find deals, flip them. For example, my buddy David in the, you know, my Coinbase guy or crypto guy, friend, whatever, in my neighborhood. He said, man, one of our other neighbors, matter of fact, their kid's staying here tonight, a different neighbor. He created bought a business, or not bought it, but opened a business up. He used to do it out of his house and then go up to like these weekend things where he has like old school PlayStations, Nintendos, all the old games, you know, like old stuff. Good money in that stuff. So he finally realized, I just need to open a storefront. So he opened the storefront. Apparently it's doing pretty well. So David, he's like, man, my wife had a little garage sale the other day. I wasn't around. I had no idea she was getting some of my stuff out. She got my old Nintendo, the original one, and it had like 30 or 40 games. I'm talking the old games, you know, the ones everyone wants. I said, yeah. I'm like squinting. Yeah, if I'm getting ready for the pain. She sold it at the garage sale. Oh no, she sold all of it. Did she get a decent price? She let it go for $25 or $20, $20 or $25. Oh, I said, you probably had $400 or $500 there. He goes, that's exactly what I had because I asked the neighbor who specializes in this. Oh, so what I'm telling you, go around And you could be that guy or girl who went to the garage sale and got the $25 Nintendo because someone's selling something they didn't know. You get it on there, flip it on Craigslist or eBay. Boom. There's always ways to make some extra, cash, man. So if you're down in the dumps in your life and you're sorrow for yourself or whatever, I want out of this, but you don't do anything, well, you're not going anywhere. Hoping and praying doesn't help either. You have to do something. So find another solution. I'm telling you, you could have turned $20 or $25 into $400 easily 400. That's a flip. And there's other stuff there you could flip. It's out there. People just say, I got to clean the garage out. I'm just done with it. I'm just going to put it out here and sell it. People go through that thought all the time. Yeah, I'll take $10 for that, $15 for that. And it's just like, you could do it, right? So I just want to just say that for 1 second. Google's employees can't afford affordable housing in Silicon Valley, so the company is investing in modular homes that serve as short-term housing for them. No, it's going to be long-term housing unless the real estate bubble crashes epically in the very near future. The Wall Street Journal reports that Google has ordered 300 units from a startup called Factory OS, which specializes in modular homes. The deal reportedly cost between $25 and $30 million. Modular homes are completely built in a factory and assembled like puzzle pieces on site. This method of construction can reduce the cost of construction by 20 to 50%, the journal reports. These apartments can also be put up more quickly to address dire housing needs. In one case, the journal cites tenants saved $700 a month because of reduced construction costs. Well, sounds like a good idea. Earlier this year, CNBC published a piece that detailed the difficulty tech companies have in trying to convince possible employees to move to San Francisco, especially when they live abroad. In response, some startups are establishing offices in other cities like Chicago and Seattle. The other option is to out-tech the housing crisis, as Google appears to be doing with its modular home investment. First, let's get a couple of things out of the way. Yes, I understand that San Francisco is one of the most expensive places to live in the world. And yes, I get that nobody is forcing anyone to work for Google or live there. Yes, I understand that this is probably intended for entry-level employees. Yes, I understand that revolutionary new ways of building homes using technology is the future, and the ability for such techniques to reduce cost is a positive thing. Yes, I understand all of that. Yet I still think this development is a sign we are getting closer to some sort of breaking point. I super duper strongly agree with that statement. Take care.